Hello guys, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel and welcome back to a new vlog. So as you all know that I make videos on ship related topics which are a little offbeat and which you will not readily find in any textbooks. I try to solve those queries and questions and doubts which many people who are working on ships have, and I try to solve them in my own ways, purely based on my own experience and the ways which I have learned. And one such topic today is very much important to second officers. That is how to update or how to properly update this NP133C, which is ECDIS and ENC maintenance record. So whenever you are updating your electronic charts, you have to record that same thing in this particular publication. So this is an Admiralty publication. It should be present as a part of your standard library on every ship. First thing which we need to know is how many sections are here. There are a total of 12 sections, and out of which the first 6 are of the most relevance to you. Okay, so the first section is digital chart service certificates. This is nothing but your subscription basically. So whichever the chart service provider you are using. For example, we have One Ocean on board our ship in this company. So you need to take a printout of that from the chart service provider application, and you need to print out and keep it here. And this is basically the proof that your ship or your ECDIS which you are using has a valid subscription from a chart service provider. Section 2 is the list of ENCs you currently are using, also known as active cells. So whatever charts you have installed and which you are currently using on your particular voyage, you have to take a printout of that and keep it here. You will get this thing in schedule A. If you are using One Ocean as your chart service provider, then you need to go to help section and then go to certificates in the bottom. If you click that, it will give you the first option which it will give you is the service subscription certificate. So this is your service subscription certificate, and you just need to take a printout of this and print it in the section 1. To get schedule A, go to ENC and then you click on reports, and here you will have to select supplier AVCS active sales only, and then you create generate schedule A, and this will give you all the list of the active ENC cells in use which you are using in your voyage, and you need to take a printout of this and log it in your section 2. Next section is the ENC status. This is of very much importance because every week you have to update your ENCs, and you have to record that here. So our latest week is week 38 of 2024. So all you need to do is, once you are done updating the ECDIS, both the ECDIS, you have to record the same thing in here. So you have to write your date, the date which you are receiving this update, and the week number, and then whether it was a base or an update. Generally, if you are doing weekly updates, you only need to write updates because base cells are also being updated along with the updates. But if you are installing a base CD altogether, then you have to click on base, and then you fill the rest are pretty self-explanatory. We move on to the next section, that is section 4 is of the same thing but AIO. So that was a permanent corrections, and this is the AIO. Same thing is only here. You have to write the date received and the week number, and whether it was reviewed by you, and if any action is needed, like if your ENC cells are including the TNPs, then you don't need to take any action. But if your manufacturers are not including the AIO, then you need to be writing anything like if whatever action you have taken, like you have marked those as special notices, or you have reviewed them and checked them every watch, all these things. And then we move on to the next section. This is the readme file. So here is one section which many people get stuck at, and they really don't know what to write here or what exactly this means. In order to understand this, we need to refer to notices to mariners. And here one important thing to understand is the week number. So currently, as I showed you in the report, that is we have updated, like I have updated my ECDIS to the current week, that is 38 of 2024. But if you see here, it says week 39. So always remember your notices to mariners will be 1 week ahead of the current week which is running. And then where you go to ENC 1 section, that is AVCS readme, and here if you see this particular date, 13th September 2024, that was the last date when this particular section was updated. You need to write this particular date and you need to check the latest changes. So as this was the last change which was made to this section, 31st July, one new ENC cell was released, and you need to check whether any, like whenever you had received this particular change, the 31st July this change was there, and you must have written on that week that this particular change was there. And after that, the subsequent weeks you need to check if any more changes have come after this. So if no changes have come, you can write no changes, but if one more change has come, then you need to write that. And then you come back here and you add the same information. So as I said, the last update was on the 31st July, and they added a Russian ENC cell. You need to write that same thing along with the date here. So this is all you need to do here. So you have to check every week and you have to see if there are any updates coming in this section. We move on to the next section, that is section 8 of, once again, notices to mariners. This is also something peculiar. So where do we look? Once again, you come to notices to mariners and you go to section 8 part 1 and you scroll down a little bit and go to the third page. Here you will find the status of the digital services. Look for the last changes here. So it will give you the last issue date and the week number. So one base DVD was released on the 11th July in week 28. So on week 28 you need to add this information in section 6, and then after that, like we are currently in week 38, so we check after week 28 if any information has been updated here. So if no changes, then you can just write no changes. Once again, you find the latest changes received and which week, and then you write the same thing, much similar to the previous section. Now move on to the next section. So from here onwards, these things rarely come, like cancelled and withdrawn ENCs. If you are receiving any notice regarding any ENC which you have been using in your voyage and that has been cancelled or withdrawn, then you need to update this. But generally this happens very rarely, once in a year or something. And then these sections are only guide to ECDIS audits and inspection. They are only for your reference. You don't need to be too much worried about them. ECDIS installation, once again, when your ECDIS is being installed for the first time, it needs to be filled and also familiarization and training. You can either use this training form which is given here in this particular publication, or generally companies have their own specific forms in which they make you undergo ECDIS familiarization. This is basically when any new deck officer or watchkeeping officer joins a vessel, they need to undergo an ECDIS familiarization training within 48 or 72 hours before taking over an independent watch. So either you can use this form to complete that, or you can have your own company specific form. And then you have a maritime cyber risk management. This is, once again, you are maintaining that your ECDIS is totally cyber security risk free. This is also not much of importance. So that's all about updating this publication NP133C, and I hope now you have a clearer idea on how to update this, what to write, and exactly where to look for. So, and after watching this video, I think you will be a little more confident about this particular publication. And I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned to my channel, and please go through the playlists specially curated for tutorial videos on topics which you will not really find anywhere else, especially in textbooks. So Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed.